Welcome to What's a Mom podcast. You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline.
Motherhood can be isolating and hard.
We are two doulas who want to provide a safe place to talk about all things mom,
From pregnancy
to birth,
to postpartum.
to parenting.
Join us as we have real conversations about real life.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Welcome to our podcast today.
Woohoo! What episode is this? Like 40 something?
42 maybe or something like that.
Something like that. I think it's like 42 or 43.
Yeah.
Yay! Who would have thought? We
Today's-
didn't even know we'd start it.
Oh, I know. It's so true. Today's episode is a little bit different than some of our past episodes. This one is focusing more into the parenting side of our podcast now.
Yes, and we
'Cause I
talked about the parenting side last week too. We talked about, balancing work and parenthood.
We did, yeah, because we've done a lot of pregnancy and birth ones in the past.
Yep. So tonight's
Yep.
going to be a little bit different.
Yeah. So today is for anyone who's ever wondered about baby led weaning. We are going to talk all about it, what it is, what you have to think about, how to do it, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a good topic.
Yeah. So, Jacqueline, what is baby led weaning?
In my words,
Yes, if you were to explain it to everyone, how would you explain it?
how would I explain it? It's teaching them to try foods, I guess, like in a way of it's just a way for babies to explore foods. So you just give them a whole cucumber and you say, have at her, kind of thing. It's teaching them to get a feel for food and it's not just eating mushed up food. Some babies don't even like that. They won't even eat it. They're like, ew, and they spit it out. But if it's like the whole food, sometimes they're more intrigued to try it, right?
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
If you are reading online about baby led weaning, sometimes you'll see it abbreviated BLW for short. Um, and I guess something to think about if you're brand new to this whole idea, I would say, is to know that baby led weaning does not mean you stop giving milk to your baby at all. It means still a gradual process. So that's still the main nutrition until 1 year.
Yes.
No matter what form of feeding you do.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. So breast milk or formula, you'll still continue doing that as their main food. But then the baby led weaning, like you already said, it's just you're introducing foods to your child.
Yeah.
And these foods that you give, they're going to be similar foods to what the family is already eating at the table. But these foods are going to be soft. And they're not going to be like it's going to be cut up into pieces, but they're not going to be like choking hazards. So there's certain foods like grapes, hot dogs, seeds and nuts, those kinds of things you don't want to give your child. Or if you do, you need to cut them in a long way so that they're not like a round chokeable piece, right?
Yeah.
Most people avoid them until later because of that reason, though.
Yeah, because it can happen.
Yeah. What would you say are some good foods to start with?
Well, my kids, they really like banana. They love that. I would just give
That's a
them
good
like a
one.
whole banana and it's mushy, right? So they would just take
Yeah.
it and they would bite it and they would mush it between their fingers because they're like trying to figure out like things in their hands and textures. It's so fun watching them. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Sure. Well, the saying is, food before one is just for fun, right? Because it's not the main nutrition. They're exploring.
Yeah,
They're learning.
they're exploring it. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cute. Yeah.
So
What was your kid's favorite? Like, what did you start first?
um, With my oldest, I think I did avocado first because
Yep.
it's nice and soft as well.
Mhm.
Couple of them, I think I did banana as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I think those were the 2 that I started with.
I know
And
it's
then I
hard
would
to
do
remember.
I would do cooked carrots and cooked broccoli after.
Cooked carrots were a big yeah, my kids like those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yams. They like that too.
Yeah,
More
the
sweet.
yams and sweet potatoes, yeah, a lot of children really like those as well.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Flavorful.
yeah, it is fun. It's fun
Mm.
watching them explore. So a lot of times babies will you'll look at them and you'll think, are they even getting anything in their mouth? Are they even eating anything? But remembering that
Mostly it's on the floor.
yes, it is messy.
Yeah.
Um, you're remembering that this is not their main nutrition, then it's okay if they're not getting that much. So the whole point of it is you're letting your child learn at their own pace and they're going to explore. And a lot of,
Yeah.
of exploring for babies is just playing around and feeling, right? Like they're learning. The textures are all completely new to a baby. The tastes are all completely new to a baby.
Yeah.
So they're gonna squish it, they're gonna play with it, they might throw it, they might put it in their mouth and spit it out. I mean,
Mhm.
there's different things they might do.
Yeah, super funny to watch.
Yeah. There are some things though that you have to think about before you start, like some signs that are good to look for before you start feeding your child.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it'd be similar, I guess, if you were spoon feeding like purees and stuff, but usually for most people, it's around 6 months.
Yeah.
This is the time when it's kind of more universally agreed upon that the digestive system is um, ready to take on extra foods other than milk.
Yeah.
They need to be able to sit up on their own, unassisted. Their head should be able to support itself, not wobbling around anymore. And it's suggested that they have the pincer grasp, which is their thumb and their finger able to pick things up so they can pick up foods off the tray or table on their own and bring it
Yeah.
to their mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if they're doing baby led weaning, for sure. Even, I mean, at a young age, you never know. Like babies, they learn different things at different times, right? They might be able to pick up a spoon and put it in their mouth. Like you watch, like you said, for signs to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
exactly. I always gave my children food to start. I just put it on the high chair tray in front of them,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I just let them do their thing, and they'd sit beside me, and then um, we would eat beside the baby, and we'd eating the same kind of foods already. So I take one or
Yeah.
two things from our plate, and I'd give the baby just a small portion. And then the baby's like with the family and they can explore, they can eat or not eat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a nice way to introduce children to a variety of foods and textures at an early age,
Yeah.
which studies have shown is actually very beneficial for babies.
There won't be as picky,
Yeah.
I feel like, right? Like they'll be more inclined to try things and not push it
Yeah.
away. And when you make it fun, like example, like, oh, we're eating trees, right? Like broccoli. It's like, it's just more fun that way, right? Like you can make it fun for
Yeah.
them,
Yeah. It's true. You can.
especially as they get older and they understand more and they can communicate.
Yeah. It is true.
Babies can be hard though. Like if they're going to push it away, then, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's going to happen. They're little, right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that's just what happens.
yeah. As adults, there's things that we don't like still too. So you can't really
That is
blame us
very
for
true.
the baby.
You cannot pay me to eat fish. could not pay me to eat mushrooms. I don't like them.
It's just so funny
And
because I love both of those.
and it's so funny because, like, my kids, I don't know, like, they'll eat most things, but they are picky with a few things. So,
Yeah.
like, I try to be like, "Okay, well, there's things that mom doesn't like either, and there's things probably that dad doesn't like, and, like, we'll work with you, but it's also about getting the proper nourishment, and it's tough, but yeah, it's gonna happen.
That
Embrace
is
it.
true. That
It
is
will.
true.
Yep, it's life.
Yeah. The one nice thing about baby led weaning is you don't have to go and buy puree baby food or go and blend stuff on your own. You literally just give them what you're eating.
Yep,
So
yep,
it's nice in that sense. Um,
yep,
I mean, there's certain foods that you can't give them, but the
yeah,
majority of stuff you can, or you just modify how you're eating it. So then you just make sure it's softer for them and you cut it up into pieces and put it in
yeah,
front. And the nice thing is they control it themselves. So baby led weaning will mean that they have full control. They choose to pick up the food, they choose to put it in their mouth. You're not
yeah,
feeding them.
yeah,
Some people will do hybrid kind of feeding solutions. So, like, it's not like a this is the only way to do it kind of thing. Like, you can still choose to do baby led weaning, but also choose to do purees as well and still spoon feed a child. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no one saying you can't, right?
yeah, that's what I
Um,
did.
I did that with baby number 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was just number 4. My first 3, I just did, like, full baby led weaning, but number 4, I kinda wanted some days where it wasn't as messy, so spoon
yeah,
feeding meant I had a little more control.
yep. Amen to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I
Bless.
mean, there's not like, it doesn't mean there's only one way to do it, right?
No,
But
it's whatever.
ba yeah, baby-led weaning, though, itself, um, means that the baby is in control and they're feeding themselves. They're choosing how much, they're choosing what. You just choose what
Yep.
to put on your plate in front of them.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yep.
what are some things to consider when you're, going to do baby-led weaning that you would think of?
Things to consider. Like,
Like, maybe some
I
concerns people might have.
well, they might say that they might choke,
Yeah,
right?
that's a common one
Like,
I've heard.
right? They might choke. It's like, well, no, but if you're being smart about it, and like you said, if you're giving them grapes and you're cutting them up, or you're giving them mushed up carrot, they're not necessarily going to choke on that, right? So it's just, yeah, I think that would be my biggest concern. And I know a lot of people are like, well, yeah, I'd rather puree everything because then there's a less chance of them choking, right? That would be the
Mhm.
biggest thing that I would think of,
Yeah.
right?
One thing I
I
learned
don't
with that was that, there's a huge difference between gagging and choking, and so that is the
that is
key.
very,
Yeah,
yep, I've heard that
that's the
too.
key
Yeah.
to learn is the difference. So, I would suggest going online and looking for videos on gagging versus choking. Like, you can literally just type that in, and you can go look for videos, and you can find some. There's tons out there.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like if they also have really good gag reflexes at that age, and there's a reason because they are learning how to
Mhm.
eat food, and they're learning lots of things, right? So, like, that's it's funny, like, God knew that, and, like, he
Not to
gave them a
mention the
really
other things they put in their mouth, right?
gag reflex because he knows that they're gonna put things in their mouth that they shouldn't, right? So I truly believe, like, of course, like, that can happen, but they also are really resilient and they can figure it out on their own. Like, I remember I'd see my kids choke, I'm like, "Oh, no," and then they just, like, cough it back up on their own. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you actually just saved yourself." Like,
Well, they were
and
probably
if
not choking, they were probably gagging, right?
they're probably just gagging, you know?
Yeah,
So it's like, I think as parents, like, we just get freaked out. It's okay to have, like, and if you, like, are concerned about that, like, you can, I know my friend, like, she saw something, the Life Vac or whatever on social media, and she just bought it because, she knew her kid was gonna be eating solid food and just wanted to make sure, there's ways to prepare yourself for that too. But also teaching them to eat, that's a life skill, and they usually do pretty well with it.
yeah.
So,
You could also teach yourself, first aid, right? Like, learning what to do in case of choking.
yeah.
That's an important skill to have no matter what anyways. Um,
Well, because
like,
you could
for
save somebody's life.
yeah. So it's if you know that, then that's also another tool in your belt, right?
Yep,
But then
yep, absolutely.
knowing that, like, what gagging actually looks like. So gagging
Yeah,
is going to make noise. You're going to hear
yeah.
them making like a noise as their body's trying to get the food out. Whereas if they were
Yes,
actually choking, there it would be
you
silent,
wouldn't
there'd be
hear.
no noise. Their face would turn blue. They might be holding their neck or um I don't know, pointing or like hitting the table or just, the
Yeah,
universal sign is usually holding your neck and
yeah,
silent, like, and they can't make
yeah.
noise. So
They
if you
can't
hear
make
any kind of noise and coughing,
yeah,
that means you don't have to do anything and it's a good sign. That means their body is working at getting it out
yeah,
and that's good. I know it's
yeah.
hard like to wrap your mind around that if you've never experienced it,
You're
but
like,
just
"Oh my
knowing that can help.
goodness."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I have to
like you
agree.
said, yeah, like you said, their gag reflex is so strong at that age that it doesn't take much for them to actually gag up food. And if
It
they're
really
controlling
doesn't.
yeah, if they're controlling their food and how much goes in their mouth, they're less likely also to be choking and gagging than if you were feeding them because they know how much can go in. They know if there's still something in there. Whereas when we're spoon feeding, we don't always know. We're kind of guessing, like, okay, this is probably good for their mouth, or I think they're ready
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
So that's
Yep.
something definitely to consider, to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
Um,
Yep.
and then something else I'd probably suggest is just making sure that your child is always sitting down when they're eating, when you're first learning.
I'm terrible at that. Well, right now I'm saying, but yes, when they're little,
Yeah.
little, very important.
Yeah. I mean, technically, at any age, we should be sitting to eat anyways, but um,
Not letting them jump around on your chair, on your couch.
yeah.
Bad,
And
bad, bad.
little ones have so much energy, like they want to be moving around, right? But it is better to
But
have them sitting. So instead of letting your like little
e
baby 6 months to a year like crawling around and giving them food, sit them down, have them in a high chair, a booster seat on your lap, wherever you want to eat, right? Um,
yes.
and just take your time. Like
Yeah,
don't rush the food. Just
yeah,
let them take time, let them explore the food as they're eating. That's why the idea of them being there with a family meal is nice. You get to spend time together and they
well,
get to
it is.
watch you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Sit
um,
down and enjoy your food. Also, as adults, like I think about this all the time. I'm like, I don't sit down and chew my food. How many times did they say you're supposed to chew it? Like 20
lots.
times?
Yeah, lots.
I think it's even more. I think it's even more than that. And here I am, and I'm like, and swallow. Like, I'm not a
Yeah.
very good example. But really, like, we should be teaching them that, like, eating takes time, and that's why you need to digest your food. Your body needs to absorb it, so you need to break it down and
Yep.
not just,
It's
exiting
true.
full pieces of food, right? Like, it's a good lesson, especially for us, to just slow down and to teach them that this is a
Yeah,
skill and that even
that is true.
adults can choke. It's true.
That is true. Yeah.
That's why I need to be better at that. Like, I need to just, like, have everybody sit down. It's crazy sometimes, but it is really important. I should definitely do that more and just sit down and get everybody to sit down and, chew my food more than 5 times before I swallow or 3
Yeah,
times.
it's true. I
Oh my
actually
goodness.
I read a book called The Slow Down Diet,
Seriously,
and
it's probably a happy
yeah,
belly, isn't it?
it's called The Slow Down Diet is the name of the book.
Slow down diet. Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And, oh, I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote it. It's a really good book, though. So he explains why we need to eat slow, like you're saying, and he says, like you said, like,
Yeah.
to absorb more nutrition, but also what happens is when we're rushing through our eating process, we're letting out, cortisol in our body, the stress hormone. So we're actually stressing our body out without realizing it.
That's
And that means
crazy.
yeah, and then your body can't properly digest because it's stressed, right? So then that's another thing that's stopping us from
And you're
absorbing
letting
the
a lot of gas in as well.
yes, it's true, yeah.
Because you're just right, you're just, like, gulping it down. Like, sometimes I will just, like, eat so fast, and then I get the worst hiccups after, and it's because I was gulping it down, and I wasn't, like, letting it digest, and I was just going crazy, and I just kept doing it, and then I'm like, "What the
Yeah,
heck? Why do I feel like this?" Or I have stomachache, and it's because you haven't digested your food.
yeah,
And that's why they say you should chew, like, I think it's like 30 times or something stupid. Like, who has the time to sit there and chew their food that long?
we
Not
should.
many. We should. So maybe
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do this week or tomorrow, just be like, okay, just like time myself. Be like, hey, Jacqueline, you have half an hour to eat lunch. Just like, and try and be better. Like, I don't know.
Hey,
That's a really good skill to learn.
it's true.
Think about
There was
how less sick tummies would be.
yeah, there was a challenge in this book. He said, "Next time you eat with other people, try to be the last one to finish your food."
I know
So
I've heard that
actually
too.
look at everyone else and slow down, chew more so that you're the last one to finish your food. So you can even make it like a challenge with your family, like, okay, you need to be the last one to finish your food, but you continuously eat. You don't get to just stop and just wait, right? Like as you're eating. And then
You just
see,
have to chew. Yeah.
yeah, like you still have to be chewing though.
Yeah.
And then see how that goes.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I think it'd be
Yeah,
good for everybody.
it
I
definitely
think
would.
TMI, but I think our bowel movements would be better. I think that
Yeah,
so many things would be better. Your
probably.
body would be happier and it would be able to absorb more.
Yeah.
And especially not stressing your body out because you don't even think about that. But that's huge. Like, stress is a killer. And like, if you're already
Right.
stressing your body out, then you're putting it into your body and it's already stressed out. Like, how does it, absorb everything that it needs to? And it's crazy how many people I talk to who have trouble absorbing their food, actually.
Yeah.
So I think we have to go back to baby led weaning
Take
and
our time to have
learn
fun with it. Yeah.
learn
Maybe.
how to be a child again and learn how to eat properly.
It's true.
Like, honestly, it
And you
sounds
think about it,
ridiculous.
something else that baby-led weaning will do is they'll eat what they wanna eat, and they listen to their body. If they feel full, they're gonna stop.
then they'll
How many
stop.
of us
What if
as adults
we did
do
that?
that still? Yeah,
Yeah. We just eat because it's, like, for pleasure. It
yeah,
really is. It's like, "Oh, it tastes good," and, like, you just don't stop, and I feel like, yeah, that's huge. If only we went back to baby led weaning
yeah.
and learning how to eat as a baby. Yeah, that's crazy. I never even thought of it like that. That's such a good point.
It's true, I didn't either
I'm
until now.
I'm gonna be more mindful, like, I truly will. I think
Yeah,
it's
it
so
is
important. We just live in such a fast-paced life, like, you're going to this, and you're going to that, and you're going to this, and you're going to that, and, like, if we don't sit down and just really just relax and, take the time, then that's not good.
it's
You're
true.
stressing everybody out. You're stressing your body, you're stressing everything, right? So, yeah, gotta be
Well,
more like a kid again and try and learn how to eat better, I guess. Learn all over again as a baby would
in
learn
a
how to
way,
eat.
yeah. In a
It's
way that
crazy.
is true.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be more mindful. I'll be like texting you, be like, how many times did you chew your food before you swallowed your food? Did you
Hey,
do it fast enough?
maybe that's what everyone needs to do, find an accountability partner.
Yeah. And then, like, really pay attention to, like, what your body feels after you even just do it for one day.
Yeah,
Like, I bet you
that
it
is
would
true.
make things so different. I think it would make your bowel movements so different.
It's true.
I really
And
do.
you'd probably notice more about the food that you're eating, right? You'd notice the textures more, you notice the flavor even more. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but
Uh-oh, I
um,
lost.
I think I'm back now.
Yeah, you're back.
Sometimes sometimes I've eaten food and I eat the whole thing. I'm like, "Oh, this is good," and I'm eating, and I'm like, "Wait, like, what did that even taste like?" Like, I feel like I just ate it.
What did it
You're
even
just
taste
like, you're
like?
just, like, chowing down, right? Like, it's just
I know,
like,
and
I
you're
just
like,
ate that much food, and
but
I
do I
don't like
remember what it
yeah, can I
tasted like?
really explain in detail, like, what it tasted like? I don't know, because
Yeah.
sometimes you're just in a hurry.
I think that's our problem. I think we're always in a hurry, and
Yeah,
I think that, yeah, if we could just, like, stop and take some time to really love our bodies and to actually care what we're doing, I think it would be huge. And the thing is,
yeah,
as moms, we're like, well, we better eat now or we might not get a hot meal, especially when we have little ones, right? And I think that's
yeah,
another thing, right? That's another thing that is a factor. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I guess you just got to make it happen because it's your health, and if it's your health, it's worth it, and you should take care of that. So
it's true.
I'm gonna be
But
more
it's like
mindful. So should
yeah,
you, who's watching.
yeah, exactly.
Enjoy your food.
I think if you have a child that's doing baby-led weaning, this might be easier too though, right? Because then
Yeah,
you can do it alongside your child and you can think to yourself, "We're both eating the same food, so we're both eating avocados. What does this actually taste like in my mouth? What does it feel like on my hand when I put it into my mouth? Uh,
yeah,
what's like the texture? What's the flavor? You know, all of that stuff. What is my baby experiencing at the same time?"
yeah,
And then you can and then the next food, I'm gonna try the carrots, I'm gonna try the banana, and you're paying attention, knowing, "Okay, this is kind of what my baby is enjoying then, and this is probably why," right?
yeah, exactly. It's a good point. I never even thought of that.
And you only have a few more months, and I'll be
It's
starting another one
crazy.
of mine.
I know. In 3 months.
Yeah, because baby
He's
number
three
5, he's 3 months now, so
three
a few more
months.
months, and he'll be doing baby-led weaning. I mean, I did baby-led weaning with all of them, so I'll just do the same thing with him again.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I can't believe that already
Yeah.
that soon.
It goes by fast.
It goes way too fast. So sad.
The other thing I know some people have done that I've talked to is they
Mhm.
were doing purees just because that's what they always knew about, and their baby might
Sure.
be, like, 8, 9 months old,
Yeah.
and then they actually hear about baby led weaning for the first time, and they'll ask, "Well, can I do that now?" Absolutely. The
Yeah.
answer is yes. You can
Yeah.
do it at any point.
You could do it at any point you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's never a bad thing to introduce more food to your kid and in a fun way where they can have control of it. And I think they like that.
yeah.
Mine
I
always loved it when I gave them something in their hand. They thought it was so cool that they had
Yeah,
control. It was
yeah,
fun to watch them explore. Like I said, mush it in their hands
yeah,
and have the taste, the face of like, whoa, that was so good, or oh, I didn't like that, and
yeah.
spit it out.
Or sour if they try something like kiwi.
Yes, and their
First
face.
time they try it. I remember one of mine, um, I can't remember which one it was, but one of my babies tried kiwi for the first time,
Yeah,
and they went to go try it, and they made, like, this sour face,
yeah,
and then
it's
they
not
looked like they
me.
didn't like it,
Yeah.
but then they kept reaching for it, and then they keep making this
So
face like they didn't like it, and they kept reaching for it. I'm like, "Oh, they must really like that."
you're like, do you like it or do you not like it? Because I'm
They couldn't make
confused.
up their mind, though.
That's so cute. I know, it's so funny. I love watching that, just what they're thinking.
It is really fun to watch, it's true.
Such fun times
Yeah.
when they eat what's given to them.
Yeah, it doesn't always continue that way, but maybe you're
It
one of the lucky ones and it will
definitely
happen
does
for you, so
not. It definitely does not. So cherish those moments when they do. It
it is
doesn't
true.
always happen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
that's a
that
good
about
topic. I'm glad we did that.
yeah, I think it about covers it. If there's anything that you guys can think about that we didn't cover, feel free to leave it in the comments, let us know. And, remember, if you've watched any of our videos before and you're not yet subscribed, make sure you follow us, like us, and share us. We appreciate it because it
Yeah.
helps the algorithm to get our videos out there for other people.
Yeah, absolutely. We just love sharing, and it's just fun to share our thoughts with other moms and dads, and yeah,
Mhm.
it's always fun. Always learn something
Yes, exactly.
every time.
We sure do.
But thank you for being with us. It was
Yeah,
fun.
thank you so much for joining us. We hope you guys got to learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till next time.
What
What
the
the
fuck?
mom?